So one of the definition of computer is that computer is a programmable machine. Prominent among some of the definition is that computer is a programmable machine. That means your computer work with sets of program, of those things that make your computer is or are the programs that are installed into the computer, be it the system softwares or the application softwares. So when we say programmable, programs are set of instructions that are given to the computer to enable it work the way it is working. So computer is a programmable machine. That is one of the definition you have to fly with when we are talking about the computer. So equally, computer is an electronic device that is capable of accepting data as inputs through the input device. Computer is an electronic device that is capable of accepting data as input through the input device. We will break down each of the term here to your own understanding. But let's just finish with the definition of computer. So, after accepting input through the input device, it will process the data with the help of the processor, store the processed data as information, then give out the processed data as output through the output device. So that is one, or this is one of the definition I so much love, or two of them rings bell in my subconscious. One is computer is a programmable machine, very simple. The other one is computer is an electronic device that is capable of accepting data as input through the input device. You have to state all those things, those terms. Process the data with the help of the processor. Store the processed data as information. With then give out the processed data as output through the output device. That is the definition of computer. So we say the computer is like the human brain that receives information, considers it alongside already existing knowledge, and gives solutions to problems or answers to questions. I'm giving you information now, or if you want to take it as data, because there is a difference between data and information. So I'm imputing data or information into your subconscious mind now. So you are the one that will process the information I'm giving to you. Ask yourself question: is this person somebody I should listen to? Does he or does this company worth your attention? So after you might have some thoughts about the information I'm giving to you, you will process it and you make decision. You might have stumbled on other courses when it has to do with the computing, or with the computer or computing. It is your place to process each of the information or data that you were opportune to get, and it is your place to do your final decision, your judgment. So that is exactly what computer does. It is like the human brain that receives information or data. You have to, when you receive information or data, you have to consider it alongside what you already know. Maybe you are already in the industry, the ICT world, and you are hearing this information for the first time. The question is, I already know it. What does it have to offer? I have so much value to give to you if you follow me along. So those are the definition that uh, follow the concept computer. So, however, whatever definition that is given to the definition of computer, it must consist of the following. There are key terms you need to use when you are talking about computer. The very first one is programmable. Why do we say machine, or when is a machine said to be programmable? Programs are written instructions that direct what action should be taken at a particular time. Programs are written instructions. There are already written package and make it available. And those information, those programs will direct the activities, actions that should come first before any other action will follow. So programmable means that any action in the computer had already been programmed, and all the user or the computer need is to know how to execute the program or action when which had already been programmed in the computer memory. So what you do basically, this information are already there. So all you do is to activate them. If you'll be learning Microsoft Word, PowerPoint, Corel Draw, um, Excel, we are not teaching you how to write programs. We are only teaching you how to activate those programs, those icons, those commands, and something tangible will happen, and you will help them, and you at those actions will help you solve some problems. So let's see, if we say computer is an electronic device, what do we mean by electronic device? We said that electronic device or devices are devices or device that are operated with the help of electricity. Any electronic device must need electricity for it to function, and consists of electronic components like resistors, transistors, diodes, regulators, etc. So when we say your table is not an electronic device, your bed is not an electronic device, your textbook is not an electronic device, um, your fan is an electronic device. So when we say something is an electronic device and we are attributing it to computer, that means if you don't have power, if you don't have electricity in where you are, you cannot operate the computer. So we say computer is an electronic device that are operated with the help of electricity and consists of electronic components like resistors, transistors, diodes, regulators, etc. When we get to computer repairs, these are the components we will take into consideration: how they look like, what is their function, when they are faulty, how do they behave, how to replace it, how to test them and know when it is faulty. So these are some of the electronic components. You can see some of the electronic. This is an IC, the motherboard with tons of ICs. These are other electronic devices that we use in our different homes. These are some of the electronic devices that we use. So let's look at inputs. We say computer is an electronic device that is capable of accepting data as input. So let's look at what an input is. Anything keyed or transferred into the computer through the input device is termed input. We have different input devices. We will get there. Like now that I'm talking to you, I'm inputting something into you. So I'm giving you input. The medium is the input device. I'm not saying I'm the input device. I'm not saying, but input is anything you key into the computer. Like as you are typing, you type, You are inputting something into the computer. So those things you type into the computer are called inputs. Then the device you use to input these things are called input devices, or input device like your keyboard. um Inputs, there are those things, anything keyed or transferred into the computer through the input device is termed inputs. Okay, let's look at input devices. So when you are typing, type your name, that is an input. You type a quotation, that is an input. But what are you using to type that quotation is the keyboard. That is an input device. Like if you are using your phone, you type somebody's, you save somebody's name. That name you are saving is an input. Then your computer, your phone keyboard that you are using to type is the input device. So what are input devices? So input devices are devices used in inputting, that is typing data into the computer. Example, computer keyboard, computer mouse. Okay, let's look at some input devices. Some input devices, you can see input devices, uh, keyboard, scanner, trackball, MRCR, touchpad, touch panel, joystick, barcode reader, mouse, and the rest. There are other input devices, but we choose to bring this. There are other ones. So these devices, we can use it to key in data. You want to scan something into the computer. If it's not inside of your phone, you plug it into your computer and get that image or thereabouts. You can use your scanner to transfer image or picture from the scanner to your computer. So the scanner in that case becomes an input device, whereas the image you put into the computer is the input. So we need to dissect this concept to your own understanding. Process, when we say process or processing, most of these things are English words. So any data inputted into the computer must be refined through certain instructions by the processor before it can be used by the user. So the activities, maybe you give a bold letter, or as you can see this design, you like this design the way it is. Some are yellow, some are white, some are black. Before this recording is made, I have to sit down and type this thing, process it, design it. So how will it look like? I must make it appealing to end users so that it will give them the needed value. So processing, if you want to eat gari, you go to the farm, uproot cassava. You don't just eat it like that. You need to go back to your house, peel it, press it, fry it before you can use it. That gari has passed through different stages, processes before it can be consumed. So you don't just throw data to your clients, you have to process it. The more you process your data, the more you make it consumable when it gets to the final, to the end user. So any data inputted into the computer must be refined through certain instructions by the processor before it can be used by the user. So what is data? Basically, we know that data are raw facts. When we say raw facts, uh, what serves as data to you might be an information to another person. So we say data, there are raw facts or inputs used by the computer. But I'm saying that what serves as data to you might be information to another. So what serves as a data to one person may as well be an information to another person. It depends on the medium and who is concerned. I can say 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Somebody looking at this will know that, okay, I am counting numbers. I am counting numbers. But to another person, it might mean a different thing. So to another person, if I put is equal to, have not been able to finish processing it. So if I give the final answer, somebody will know that, okay, I was adding this digits. I was adding these digits. So data are basically raw facts. So information, what do we mean by information? So any data imputed into the computer must be refined through certain instructions by the processor before it can be used by the user. There are the processed data. There are the processed data. The processing is carried out by the processor when the user instructs it on what to do. We will talk about the processor differently, and we get to understand the usefulness of the processor. And when your system is faulty, you should be able to know whether it's from the processor or not. Okay, so we will say one, the other data we use comma, but this one we are saying 1 plus 1 plus 3, 1 plus 2 plus 3 plus 4 plus 5, and we finally got 55. This is an information telling somebody that we are adding these digits. So what serves as an information to another person might be a data to another person. So there are the processed data. The processing is carried out by the processor when the user instructs it on what to do. We will be coming back with more definition of some of the terms we use when we define in the course of definition of the computer.